It's my pleasure to talk to you about NAB's thinking on considering natural capital within our business model. I'm going to skip through a lot of the context that I was going to share with you. I'll talk quickly about the business imperative for us, and then I'll talk about a solution for our finance sector, which is really a framework for how we're going to address this through our business and how we're approaching it today in our business. So really the issue for us, I mean, it's pretty obvious hearing the context from the various speakers today why we would be considering this. It's an issue for the sustainability of our business, but essentially in our sector it's about the indirect exposure through our customers and suppliers to the risks and opportunities that natural capital consideration holds for us. So environmental sustainability is critical to the sustainability of the relationships we have with those customers and suppliers. So it's not just about doing the right thing, it's a business imperative for us because it's about our sustainability as a business and our growth. You can see there very quickly, which I'm not going to go into, that we have an environment agenda which encompasses 3 key priorities. For some time we've been focused on climate change and responding to that, and we've achieved carbon neutrality and had significant impacts on our environmental footprint. But recently we've extended that environment agenda to focus on resource efficiency and natural value. So if you're interested in reading more about our performance against the objectives of that agenda and the targets we set each year, there is an environmental report available on our website. So why is the bank interested in this? Well, it's really, if you think about the diagram on the previous page that talked about the real economic system, we need to prepare and adapt our organisation for an economic system that's going to pose new legislative and market dynamics for ourselves and our customers and suppliers. It's going to, potentially there's going to be new markets that open up, and we need to ensure that we're ready for that and prepared so that we take advantage of those. We also recognise the imperative of collaboration. So one of the things that we're focused on is establishing the right collaborations with government, multi-sector business and environmental groups, because we actually see that this is a shared challenge and an opportunity for us to learn together. And we also feel that we can't have the answers in our sector by ourselves, so it's really important to link into the initiatives that are looking at the valuation methodologies and new market opportunities. But in the short term, this is actually about, for us, really just recognising and understanding better the natural capital risks and opportunities that our customers are exposing us to, and ensuring that we support them and sustain the relationships that we have with them. A solution for our sector is the Natural Capital Declaration. It's a sector-specific initiative, so I'm going to spend a bit of time talking about this. And the initiative is really aiming at accounting for embedding natural capital into consideration into investment, banking and loan decisions. So it strives to develop methodologies and standards for our sector, and you could say strives to achieve that corporate 2020 organisation for our sector and support our sector to get there. The convening partners that you can see with the logos at the base there have been the United Nations Environment Programme Finance Initiative, along with the Global Canopy Programme and I'm not going to pronounce their name, Brazilian academic organisation. The UNEP-FI's global membership contributed to the design of the declaration over a period of time, and its official launch at the United Nations Conference of Sustainability in June this year. And the CEOs of NAB and Rabobank Group were the first 2 signatories in December 2011. So, there's no coincidence that they're 2 of the largest, particularly in this market, the agribusiness bankers. And so we saw the imperative and the fit to sign up to a declaration like this. There are now 41 financial institution CEOs signed up globally, and 23 other organisations signed up in support. So the declaration is really focused on 4 key commitments. Firstly, to understand the impacts and dependencies of natural capital, and then mainly, as I said, the indirect impacts and dependencies that we have via our customers and suppliers, and really understand how they translate into materiality for our sector. Second step is to embed and integrate consideration of natural capital into lines of products and services. And then start working towards a global consensus on disclosure requirements and integrated reporting, which is really critical. I think it was mentioned before, if you measure and manage, the next step is really important to disclose and report against that. What you're watching, you're managing better. And fourthly, we're also aiming to work towards a global consensus on integration of natural capital accounting in the private sector and decision making. There is actually a website, naturalcapitaldeclaration.org, that you can read more about that and learn about the other signatories. So the steps, in collaboration with the 41 other signatories, we've established a roadmap which really takes us out to 2020, and the aim is to achieve industry methodologies and standards for our sector by 2020, and we know that each organisation will customise to some extent, but we believe that there's benefits from shared learnings and best practice and industry norms from that collaboration. The 4 key commitments, so understand, integrate, report and account, will be progressively addressed via pilots, and they'll look at assessing the materiality of natural capital risk across lines of products and services. They'll develop industry approach to biodiversity policy for our sector. They'll develop training and engagement strategies. They'll explore management and governance systems for our sector, and they'll explore monitoring and reporting approaches. So it's a holistic approach to how business needs to think about this. Also for our business, thinking beyond the natural capital declaration, and a lot of them have been mentioned today, there's many initiatives that we need to link into. The Tea for Business Coalition, and one of the ones that we're looking at establishing with Stuart and Josh, who have spoken about today, is the Australian Biodiversity and Business Initiative that is part of the Convention of Biological Diversity's Global Partnership Program, which will look at bringing multi-sector business, government and civil society together in a shared conversation about how to incorporate and address this issue through business sectors. So we might be able to talk a bit more about that, because we're interested in getting those of you that are interested involved in that. We also believe in the importance of collaboration, so we're doing a lot of work on talking to government and various parties to ensure that we're linking into the right initiatives, the initiatives that are going to support our business but support society's education around this. So what are we doing? This is a progressive consideration within our business. We know that we can't change our business model in the short term, but we expect that we're going to have to do that in the long term. But we need to build from a foundation of understanding and connections and collaborations. So the first part of our journey is around learning and making those connections, and not just at an international level, but we're also looking at connecting with collaborations at a local level that are bringing us closer to the local issues that our customers and communities are facing. So for instance, we're looking at collaborating with a local council here, Hume City Council, on a program that supports their local landowners in revegetation and conservation programs, and we're looking to how we can actually collaborate and get more involved in that program to extend it a bit further. We're actually starting to look at our risk management processes, and we've introduced ESG, so environment, social and governance risk principles across our business, so that the frontline people that are making decisions about lending and investments are actually directly thinking about natural capital and broader environmental risk issues. So that's quite a process to move an organisation like ours to really thinking about this in the day-to-day decision making. So we're partway through that, but that's a big significant move towards our business change. And we're also starting to look through our operation approaches. So recently we've started to think about our procurement and updated our supplier sustainability principles to embed consideration of natural capital within the conversations that we're having with suppliers. We don't have a large footprint, but our supplier base has a lot of indirect dependencies, and we need to actually have a conversation to help them manage and understand those a bit better, and make our supply decisions in accordance with a best practice in that space. A long way off for us. We know that we're going to have to change our business models, but it's going to be built on learning and collaborations, on being involved and really embedding the natural capital declaration commitments within our business, and taking progressive steps. So you can see that we're committed in the long term to changing our business, becoming a corporate 2020 organisation, hopefully, and we believe in this is an important business imperative for us, but also for our economic system and our society as a whole. Thanks.